All right. Welcome back to Taking a New Approach podcast. I am so grateful to be back again recording. It feels so good. Hopefully you guys are doing wonderful. I thank you for giving me your time, your energy. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here right now. If you're new to this channel, thank you for clicking on it. There are no mistakes in the universe. It's a reason why you needed to hear this, okay? So learn what you need to learn, and then take it and go and build yourself and learn this beautiful life, this journey, this experience, right? So I want to get right into it because this is really just, I was just thinking to myself. I was really talking to myself. I ain't gonna lie. I was talking to myself, and this is kind of like my process of how I like come up with some of the topics. But I want to talk to you about stop saying what sounds good and start living by it. I'm going to say that again to you. I didn't even do my 1, 2, 3, take a breath in. That's how I just really want to get this out. Stop saying what's good and start to live by it. Like, the more I'm learning about myself, the more that I am, diving deeper into books and into meditation and really just trying to figure out, not even figure out, but just remember who I am. Because that's all we're doing. We're just, learning us again, relearning us. That's really what this is. You're not searching for anything. You're not, chasing greatness. You're not doing all this other stuff. Like, you are that. And once you realize that you just need to make space for that, life will become a lot easier. But I've been seeing just a lot of, especially nowadays with social media, everybody has an opinion, right? And I'm not here to knock it because this is just my opinion, right? Like, at the end of the day, there's the universal truth. I feel like I speak a lot of that universal truth. This is my perspective. This is what I'm here to help people and what to do, right? This is what I'm here to do. But a lot of people just saying things, but they're not really practicing what they're saying. And if you really want to become your higher self, and if you really want to get to that self-care, that self-love, where you honestly have real happiness, inner peace, where you could practice gratitude, you actually have to do it. You can no longer just watch other people live their lives and then feel good about it, but not do it for yourself. I'm tired of people just solely okay, you know what to say. You know what the information is, but you're not actually practicing. So now it becomes a false, this facade. And you're misleading people. Now, I will always tell you, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Your power is not in controlling people or worrying about what they think about and how they do it. But it is my job to make sure that we do have some sense of sincerity, integrity, loyalty to what we are putting out there. Like I said, as you know more and as you gain greater knowledge, greater responsibility comes with it. So it is my job for those who go out and who are seeking to understand, who are out here to learn more about themselves so they can become their greater selves. Our job, we are spirits having human experiences. We are energy. Everything is energy. So it's my job to help those who really want to learn, who really want to put in the work. I'm not saying you have to be perfect. You're going to make mistakes. This is not judging someone based off of you're on your way and you're learning and you're making mistakes. That's the part of gaining wisdom. But I'm talking about those who know what they're doing, those who know that they can practice, but they choose not to. They just know, okay, I could talk about this and this and make me a little bit of money. Like we have to start living by it. If you think there's a corrupt system, then you need to start acting like it. You can't be like, I've seen people talk about, oh, the government this, that, and oh, they trying to get these people down, or they trying to do this and this. And I'm not saying they're not. But it's really hard for me to believe what you're saying when you're still participating in the chaos. To still participate in dysfunction and act like it's normal is insanity. Just because you can see what they're doing, but you also need to practice that. You can't be in a rave and then you telling people, oh yeah, if we all banded together and take our monies out the bank. Well, how the heck I know you didn't go over there with $400,000 and $500,000 in cash and just give them, like, what? You still participating in the nonsense. And I'm all for whatever way you want to live it. So if you all about making money, if you all about capitalism, if you all about whatever it is that you want it to be about, okay, whatever you want it to be about, be 100 with it. Go full balls to the wall, as they used to say. But don't sit up there and be giving mixed signals and mixed energy. And this is really towards those, it could go to you, it could go to other people, YouTubers who just be out there. I see it all the time. And I felt like I just had to address it. Be careful. And I did one of these where I said, be careful who you listen to. Be careful what energy you take in, because it's very true. Not everybody has a sincerity on their journey, in every part of their journey. So sometimes that person that you listen to is misleading you, but they might be doing it out of ignorance, right? They might just really not know. They're still growing themselves. This is why I advocate for you to do the research yourself. I'm just here to inspire you. I'm just here to bring you a different perspective. And then from there, you can get help, or you could figure it out yourself, but at least you have somewhere to start, because it is your own journey. You have to start living by what you say. You can no longer just say stuff and not live by it anymore. We're past those days. This new shift, this new journey, this new energy is all about you mastering yourself and really putting in the time and the effort to get better. Those who don't do it, they will be left behind. You're already starting to see it. That's why so many of us are just like, befuddled, right? Mind blown on how people and their actions and how they're and just the way they think and they behave in today's society. Because many of them are gone. Many of them are spiritually dead. They're spiritually dead. They don't understand that you create your own reality. They don't understand that everything is energy. Like, if you know everything is energy, you need to start acting like everything is energy. It doesn't mean you can't make mistakes, but you have to understand 80-20 rule. Like I've said before in the podcast, 80-20 rule, 80-20 rule. 80% of the time, you should be knowing that it is and living that way. The 20% is going to be, that's a part of the human experience. That's where you gain your real wisdom. That real wisdom that you're going to gain. But we have to start to do better. You have to start to be real with yourself. That's why the work always starts inside. Whatever whatever you're seeing outside right now, if you're not liking it, if you're not enjoying it, then that means that you are not living by what you are thinking. You are not really understanding that it's going to take you to change that reality. It's going to take you to detach from it. That's why I always mention to be in the world, not of the world. That's what that verse was saying in the Bible, if you're a Christian. And if not, I don't care, because at this point, I'm just for all knowledge. So if I find a verse in the Quran, I'll read that to you, Buddha, whatever. I don't care. If it's channeled, no disrespect. But the metaphysic part of that is basically letting you know that your spirit should not be attached to this worldly dimension. Because when it is, that's when you have disease. That's when you have confusion. That's when you have anger and depression and everything else. But when you're able to detach from it, is when now that stuff doesn't affect you. It can no longer harm you. Death no longer can harm you. Because you choose to leave this planet. And the way that you live your life is how you're going to go out. If you really was detached from reality, more than likely you would just choose how you're going to die. But most of us, we so lost in the sauce, as somebody would like to hear, right? Like, we so lost in the deception of not knowing who we are. And I've been there. I will always say this is more for me than anybody else. I hold myself to that standard. I know who I am. I'm here to inspire, not to judge. So me calling this out is no judgment, because everybody is where they're going to be. You are where you are, and that's fine. But it's also a responsibility of those who know better to do better and look out for those who do not know. They say God looks out for fools and babies. And it's a lot of spiritually fools and babies running around right now. And that's no disrespect. That's just the way the system has created it. It's not something that we are learning. I didn't learn that I was energy. I didn't learn my mind was God. I didn't learn that the mind is all in 3rd grade. They're not teaching that in public school. They're not teaching you about how your thoughts actually can affect the rewiring, the neuroplasticity of your brain. They're not teaching you that. Not teaching you that your emotions affect your reality and is a guidance system for you. And that your goal in life truly is just to feel good and to know that if you're feeling good, that you're on the right track. There's no one teaching you how to be the balance of being vulnerable, to be intimate with yourself. So this is real for me. So I will always hold myself, and the more I learn, and the more I learn, and the more I learn, like I understand where I'm coming from. Life Path 7, we're all into the deeper knowledge of analysis and things. Like, I know I'm on my right path. Like right now, I feel good doing this. I feel at peace. It's nothing better than reading a book and getting some good knowledge. It's like, ooh-wee, I love that knowledge. But it's time, if you really want to see your life change, then you're going to have to put in the work. You're going to have to detach from what society has said or the conditions that are stopping you. Because think about it. I want you to really think about this. Hear me out. I know I ain't got the most fancy videos, whatever it is, but hear me out. I'm all about the message. I don't care about all the accolades. I don't care about that. I'm not against it, but that's not why I do this. What's mine is mine, and what's not, I don't need to worry about. But think about this for a moment. What is bothering you? What is bothering you so much right now? What is constantly floating into your mind? What is constantly making you feel like you're not enough, that you're not worthy, that you're undeserving? Because if you could think about that, then now you know what is your master. What is mastering you right now? What condition you are under? Wherever you don't feel like you are enough, that's where you need to start working on. That's where you got to start living by. We all have issues. We all have things that we have to learn, but this is where it becomes like, stop saying it in the way of, okay, I'm on, it sounds good, and start living by it. When I started to really live by being a more positive person, really actively thinking about my thoughts, right? Sounds crazy. How you think about a thought, right? I actually was thinking, I'm like, hold on. Why did I see? That's what it means to be the observer of your thought. You have to step outside of yourself and really like your thinking, because if you never do, then you will never understand why things aren't going the way that they're going. And where are you missing those little links? Where is it that you're just not practicing what you already know? It's about practice. You talking about practice? Nah. If you know Allen Iverson and that, then you get it. Right? So you have to learn these things. And it's imperative that you start to practice whatever you truly believe. And if you don't believe it, then you have to start to work to change that behavior, change that belief. No one's giving you a time limit. I'm not giving you a time limit. So don't think that I'm just talking down to you or telling you you're not good enough. And if that's the way you feel, then again, that's where you got to start. Why do you feel that way? Because I wish nothing but the best for people. Like I told people before, like when I had my job in sales, like some people are greedy and they will do anything. Lie, steal, cheat. They would do anything to get paid. Some people, not necessarily the people that I'm working with per se. But like I tell people all the time, like I could easily, when they mess up, it's my last shot to really get paid. But I don't do that. I give them every opportunity because that's just not my energy. Like I know I'm infinite. I know it's in me. I know I have abundance flowing in me. If I'm not reaping the rewards of the abundance that's within me, it's because I haven't allowed the space for it to flow out. That's on me. And I'm not blaming me. I'm not blaming anybody else. It's just the facts. But once I'm aware of that, I know that now I can work on that. And I'm not in a rush. You have to release the expectations that have been put on you. Stop living by those and start living by what you deem that makes your soul feel good. What feeds your spirit? What is feeding you? This is the questions you need to be asking yourself, because a lot of people out there, they're just literally zombies. That's what we have nowadays, zombies. That's why they would just do whatever is trendy. Whatever is trendy. And then people get hurt. People, anything that becomes popular, everybody want to give it credit. And if it's not, everybody want to bash it. It was like, I'm literally seeing how mind control works. Like before you hear about it, but now I actually see that if you're not really tapping into yourself, and really doing the work where you can actually sit back and observe things. Like, I know that's not everybody's nature. And I'm not telling you to be that way if you know, that's hard, but you still have to do it for yourself. I can't do it all day long for you. I'm not always going to be there. You can listen to these podcasts and that'll be helpful for you, but I can't do it all day for you. But prime example, I'll give you one. It's by the time I know this is not gonna come out when this happened, but I'm giving you the example in live time. So Dave Chappelle, by the time you hear this, you probably have seen it or not, but you know about it whenever this comes out. But he had a special. It's called Sticks and Stones. And everybody's talking about it. Oh, this is so phenomenal. I was like, eh. I was just like, eh. Everybody just kept talking about it. Oh, it was so funny. He's doing this and this. And I was like, okay, I'll go. I like laughter. Laughter is the greatest thing that you could do on this. One of the greatest things you could do on this planet. It's one of the greatest ways to get you back to your highest self. That vibrational highest peak, your vortex, as Abraham Hicks would say. So I love to laugh. And I'm able to detach myself from anything. It ain't all just got to be Bible jokes or something like that. You know, like I laugh at the raunchiest stuff because I understand this reality doesn't matter like that. Like, life is great. I'm going to master this. But in the scheme of things, I'm not going to think about this when I transition. So I go watch it and it was funny, but it wasn't really this classic masterpiece, but everybody kept saying it is. Everyone is saying it is. And now you can see that even people who probably wouldn't have said it, because now everybody else is saying it and everybody else who already went in with an expectation of it, now they are living somebody else's reality. That's how mind control works. Mind control works by, it doesn't have to be like somebody have you in a chair like on the movies and they are feeding something into your mind. No. It's about putting it out. Because like I said, we are antennas. So they just put it out into the universe. They put it out to your consciousness. And if you are already low in spiritual awareness and fortitude and everything else, it's easier to seep into you. It's easier for you to just go ahead and attach to that thought, to that wavelength, to the vibration. So now you're seeing so many people just keep repeating the same thing, You go to YouTube comments all the time. People will say the same thing, whether it's about any topic, and especially the divisive ones, right? Any topic, just say the same thing over and over again. And that's because people aren't really living their truths. They're talking about these beliefs, but they're not actually living by them. And that's what I want you to understand, is that you have to protect yourself. You have to protect yourself out here, because everything you hear is not always good for you. And when you start to live and define yourself and live by what your definitions are, then that's when you will be strong enough to not worry about any of this. Because I had to learn that it's okay with being a little bit of frustration, right? Like, it's okay to, to have a little bit of anger, right? That's a part of this nature of being in this human experience. And it frustrates me really when I see that people are being misled, and actively misled, with people who say they are what they are. If you follow someone and you're like, oh, this person is so great, you have already allowed them to master you. If you are listening to me, you listen to me to get what you needed from the universe, And then you go about your business to make sure that everything works for yourself. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. Keep doing it. But at the end of the day, I want you to win more than me, if that makes sense. I'm going to win. I'm winning right now. I'm loving life because I control my reality. And I want you to have that same mentality, because if we all on the same wavelength, it's no way that we can have a bad one. But it's not going to work if you're just watching me live my life and growing, and then you're not growing as well. Like, I want you to grow too. It's like they say, the leader always eats last. Like, that's the mentality that I want to have. That's why I'm pouring into these podcasts. That's why I pour into whoever listens to this, whether it's 80 people that listen constantly or total of 2 million, who I don't know. But whatever it is, I really want you to think about focusing on actually starting to live what you are learning. You have to live this. You have to practice this. It's not going to be so easy as like you're just breathing every day. We done built up a lot of crap in us. A lot of us. Some of us have been sexually abused. Some of us have been bullied, teased. We have gone through trauma, whether it was just growing up in a terrible environment or just always being, domestic abuse, like being beaten by your parents if you were a child growing up. I mean, being cheated on, being all these different things that have contributed, that we attached ourselves to, and a lot of that stuff that would cause some type of negativity, right? And some type of resentment. Like, that's a lot. And it's not your fault, but you have to learn now. If you're past that, or if you're going through that right now, it's up to you to get out of it. You are going to be your savior. I'm not coming to knock on your door and bring you to where I live. I like to live alone. I like to live alone a little bit. I need my me time. Love you. Hope that you understand that you do have that power within you. You do. Understand that. You have that power within you. No one's going to change that. Allow the space. You have to release the blockage. You have to release those barriers that we have built up in ourselves and around ourselves to not allow what is naturally coming and oozing out of us. That's why they say you're your own worst enemy. That's why they say that. It's not like a lot of sayings that we have are so powerful and we just don't even get it. That's why they say we're our own worst enemies. Because right now, if you're trying to start a business, you probably didn't told yourself 9 million times that you can't do it before actually being rejected by probably 5-10 people. We reject ourselves on a constant basis. If you don't have what you think you deserve, then you probably rejected yourself from getting it. You built the barriers. We can complain all day long, and yeah, there are examples of it, but understand this. Everything happens in the spiritual realm before it hits physical. Everything. Everything. So if you quick to say, but this person actually did this to me. But this actually happened. Because I've been practicing this and this still, no. Excuses. Goes with me too. I've been doing the same thing. Should have started this podcast a long time ago. Excuses. It's excuses. It's just that's what it is. But when I understood who I am and understood that, oh, okay, when I was growing up, this should have happened so that I could be at this point in my life to trust myself more and to have more confidence. Oh, this is something that I am gonna like naturally struggle with. Doesn't mean that it always be that way. It just means I have to give more attention to making sure that I don't just naturally float that way, right? Like some people naturally just have confidence. Some people naturally are better at different things. And so just on the simple, if they were just to play it even keel, they're going to float towards that. They're going to lean towards that more so than something else, just naturally. But it doesn't mean that someone who doesn't do that can't have that trait, can't develop that skill. That's all I'm saying. So when you understand yourself and you're practicing what you're learning, and practicing means you could go to workshops. There's people that's doing workshops that I know. You can get the coaching services. There's other people that's having events. There's other people you can go on the events. Like people have Facebook groups, communities where you can talk and learn different things. Like there's so much wealth out there. But you have to be real with yourself and say, you know what? I'm not being a student of life. I'm just a bystander right now. And you got to get in the game. You got to get into life. You got to seek who you are first. All right? You have to seek who you are first. So I'm going to leave you with this because this really is true. See, the reason why we're not living our true, and not even our truths, because I don't even really like that. They kind of have bent that and made it where anything you know is all right. No, there's certain ways that the universe works. The universe doesn't work in all different kind of ways. It works in a certain set of ways, the universal laws. So let's get that straight. Understand this. In order to understand life in general, you must go within. Many of us who are not living by what we are practicing is because we don't see the light yet within those practices. And I was reading a great book, Osho, and it was talking about, I think it's either sex matters that he was talking about it, or it was it's either that book or a book on intimacy and just learning how to trust oneself. But either way, he talks about meditation. And he talked about the seeker within. And he talked about this lady, and it was like he gave an example. And this lady, old lady in the middle of the street, she's trying to figure out, okay, well, I'm looking for something. So in the middle of the street, it had light. So she's searching around, and some people come, they try to help her out. And they like, what you looking for? She said, it doesn't matter. I'm just looking. And then again, they asked, but like, so what did you drop? Like, we want to help you. Oh, well, I dropped this thing and it should be in the middle of this road. It's a huge road. It's dark at night. It's only a little bit of light. They're like, okay. And then they kept just asking her questions. And she's like, yeah, I think I left it in my house, but it's dark there. So I'm just still searching out here because it's light here. And eventually he gets to the point that says that the reason why you're having this confusion or you're not really understanding life is because you haven't gotten clear on what you desire. And then you're only looking at all the places where the light is instead of going within. And within is dark because you haven't readjusted your eyes to see. Like when you go outside and you're in the sun all day, and then you come back in and the lights are off, your eyes, it gets a little dark. Your eyes have to readjust. And then you can start to see better in that darker room. And he said that's the same thing when it comes to us. When you go inside, when you're seeking inside, it's going to be dark a little bit. But slowly but surely, as you keep doing it, you will start to see the light within. And that is the key. You don't have to say it. You just have to start to do it. You have to start to readjust the way you see your practice, to see the light within it, to see the light within you. So once you're able to do that, once you take a new perspective, a new mindset, taking a new approach, that's when it will become a different feeling, a different motivation. You get up and now it is you. You are this thing. You can't get it wrong. You are not getting it wrong. This is a part of your journey. So understand this. Okay? I'm going to leave you with that. I will go more into that one because I'm definitely going to do something just on meditation because that really blew my mind on that one. But thank you so much for listening. If no one told you today, I'm proud of you. I love you. Have a beautiful day or night or whenever you listen to it because it's timeless. You can come back and listen to it. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for donating. If you want to donate, the Cash App is there. Like I said, anything helps to keep this channel going in terms of liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting on what you have learned. Any of your thoughts, like what are you thinking? Leave them in the description. Leave them in the comment section. Email me for coaching service. Email me if you just want to say hello or whatever it is. I'm telling you, help a brother out. Like the video because that allows us to get seen by more people with the algorithm and things of that nature. And it would really help because I really do want to influence and inspire people to be their better selves and for us to, add more good to the collective consciousness. And if that's what you can do by just liking my videos every time you come and reminding yourself to do it and just sharing it or just leaving a comment of love or something that's inspiring, even if it's not to me, to somebody else who might just stroll past it and see that and it just touched their soul. Like it's way bigger than me. It's way bigger than us, right? Like we're all in this together. So I definitely love you guys and I appreciate you. And we're going to keep going because we got this. We got this. All right. Love you. And I'll talk to you on the next episode. Peace.